because you're afraid of these people who are out to kill celebrities, and you specifically. Why do you have that fear?
It may be the craziest conspiracy theory ever.
Police media corruption. Ba-dum!
Are refugees. I mean, that's essentially what it is. Hollywood refugees seeking to be left alone by the criminals in America.
And I believe that many others, such as Britney Spears, Lindsay Lohan, they're going to come over and shoot me with a gun.
Evie, will you shut up for a minute, please? Please.
Killed David Carradine and Heath Ledger. These star whackers are out to kill you as well.
According to Randy Quaid, Britney Spears, Heath Ledger, and Lindsay Lohan have all been set up. He claims there's a group of Hollywood star whackers. These people aim to sabotage celebrities and steal their fortune. Randy and his wife were so fearful of these celebrity hunters, they fled to Canada. So let's get into it. I need to talk to you guys about one of the most bizarre stories I found on the internet. It involves an actor named Randy Quaid and his wife Evie, and they claim there's a group of people called the Hollywood Star Whackers out to kill celebrities. If you guys don't know who Randy is, he's currently in his 70s, and once upon a time he was a big-time actor. He's been in films like Brokeback Mountain, Kingpin, Independence Day, and his most memorable role as Cousin Eddie in the film Christmas Vacation.
Prior to his disappearance, Quaid appeared in a number of blockbuster films, notably Independence Day and in the National Lampoon Vacation movies, playing the archetypal nightmare house guest, Cousin Eddie.
That's a honey of a tree, Clark. The real?
His brother is the actor Dennis Quaid.
So Randy was heavily involved in the business. I mean, his brother is Dennis Quaid, so even his immediate family are stars. He and his wife claim that there's this group that are murdering movie stars. Quote, Randy has known 8 close friends murdered in odd, strange manners.
It says he and his wife stayed in Canada for so long to avoid what he calls Hollywood star whackers, people he believes were out to kill him. So what are star whackers? It may be the craziest conspiracy theory ever. The Quaids claim it's a shadowy group who murdered actors David Carradine and Heath Ledger.
So let's talk about this killer group, the Star Whackers. This group led Randy and his wife to move to Canada in 2010, even though he had a lot of drama going on in the States. Back in 2010, Randy was super public with a bunch of crazy statements, claiming that everyone's out to get him and that he needs to get to Canada to escape death. And he was even posting his own videos claiming that he and his wife were in danger and these big powerful entities were out for him.
This is my wife, Evie. I helped media giants News Corp and Warner Brothers Entertainment earn well over $1 billion for the films Independence Day and Christmas Vacation. What did I get in return? Stole my house. Continues to smear me to high heaven with a pack of lies. For good measure, he's even had my wife and I falsely arrested 6 times by... No, for real. That's really how it works. Hashtag PMC. Police media corruption. Ba-dum!
So Randy doesn't seem 100% sane in that video clip, and the video gets a lot messier as you go on, but that's a clip of something he released on his own in his defense. And he's made some pretty damning claims, like the fact that Heath Ledger and David Carradine were murdered by these people out to get him.
That the same people who you believe killed David Carradine and Heath Ledger, these star whackers, are out to kill you as well.
Well, they are star whackers. I mean, they're people who I knew David Carradine. And,
he was found dead in Bangkok.
And
you believe they hanged him in Bangkok, yes, and they forced Heath Ledger to take drugs in New York? I
can't believe that David would commit a suicide. His wife has recently come out and said that she believes that he was murdered. Heath was an athlete. He played Australian football. He was robust. It's just, I've had 8 friends of mine who have either died or mysteriously or had scandals surrounding them. in recent years. And this is what I'm talking about when I mean by star whacking. I mean, it's not killing somebody necessarily. It's just creating a scandal or a mystery around a celebrity that that discredits them.
So maybe they're not necessarily out to kill these people, but they're going after them, which I think it's interesting he brings up these two actors because he had worked with Heath before, and Heath does have some mystery around his death. If you haven't seen my video about the Olsen twins and their involvement, definitely go and check that out. But when it comes to David's death, I was really taken back by the fact that he had supposedly taken his life in Thailand, and he was found hanging with a rope tied around his neck and his private part. So if you guys want me to talk a little bit about his death and all of that, I'm happy to dive in because I was really confused reading this. But another claim that I find confusing from Randy is that these star whackers were out to get other people, including Britney Spears and Lindsay Lohan, and they were ultimately setting them up for failure.
In 2010, on Good Morning America, the couple claimed the star whacker hit list was growing.
Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah, definitely. And Britney Spears.
The couple even bickered on camera when Evie tried to hog the interview.
Evie, will you shut up for a minute, please? Please.
It's probably not a good look that these two are arguing in front of the world, especially when they're pushing some type of conspiracy theory. But I have to admit that Randy seems a lot more sane in this press conference where he breaks down the entire situation.
The past 20 years, my wife Evie and I have been the victims of criminal activities perpetrated by a small network of individuals who are out to destroy us personally, professionally, and financially. This network of individuals is manipulating the banking system and the criminal justice system for the purposes of sabotaging our credit and our credibility. Up until a year ago, Evie and I had never had any run-in with the law whatsoever. We are not criminals, nor are we fugitives from justice, nor are we crazy. We are simply artists and filmmakers who are being racketeered on. We believe there are to be a malignant tumor of star whackers in Hollywood. How many people do you know personally who have died suddenly and mysteriously in the past 5 years? I have personally known 8 actors.
So he's claiming these individuals are working together to pretty much sabotage these celebrities. And when you hear him bring up like Britney Spears and Lindsay Lohan, it gets you thinking because Britney Spears was put into a conservatorship. There were a bunch of different people working together in legal system to pretty much set her up. So was Randy finding himself in a similar situation? And are these people actually, out to get these celebrities like Lindsay and Britney?
I believe these actors were whacked. And I believe that many others, such as Britney Spears, Lindsay Lohan, and Mel Gibson, are being played to get at their money. In the meantime, many a celebrity's image and marketability is being co-opted and destroyed. Google helps out by keeping the negative stories near the top of a celebrity's webpage because it's the negativity that brings in the advertising revenue.
Randy's starting to make some sense here because there's some type of operation in Hollywood to put out bad press, to generate some traction, and to ultimately earn money. And it's at the expense of these celebrities. And there's a story he shares in this press conference about a man who worked very closely with him. His name is Lloyd Braun, and this guy is described as a Hollywood powerhouse. And at some point he worked with Randy and then turned on Randy. And I found it interesting because Randy explains that this man actually created a gossip website. So he's working closely with these celebrities to ruin them and then to exploit them on his gossip website for ad money.
In my own case, my ex-attorney Lloyd Braun has joined this tribe of bottom feeders by creating his own celebrity gossip website. What is wrong with that picture? When your own attorney starts defaming you, who do you turn to defend you? Lloyd Braun also claims to have come up with the idea of The Sopranos, so he's obviously familiar with the ways and means of organized crime.
Interesting that Randy brings up The Sopranos because it does seem like this is giving mafia energy. I fact-checked everything that Randy said, and a lot of it does add up because this man, Lloyd Braun, did create a website. It's called Wonderwall. If you guys have heard of this website before, comment below because I had never heard of it before, but it's something that he had created with another person named Gail Berman. Yeah, Gail Berman, which I'm interested in their story as well because these two seem sketchy. But supposedly the website was supposed to be a nicer version of Perez Hilton's website. So they were trying to cover celebrity news, but be a little bit more respectful. And it seems like this website is still up and running. I mean, the amount of pop-ups I got from it was unreal. I almost thought that my computer had a virus, but yeah, it's up and running and they're definitely pushing those ads. I want to play one more clip for you guys from this press conference because he claims that this Lloyd Braun guy embezzled money from him, used this money to purchase homes, and at some point took a home of Randy's and gave it to a guy named Bruce Berner, which I couldn't find any record of this guy unless he owns a mortgage company. I'm not entirely sure, but it all sounds really illegal.
Fortunately, my brother Dennis has made matters worse by buying a house from Mr. Braun on property Braun originally bought with money he embezzled from me. I recently discovered, much to my surprise, that Dennis is also on the deed to my Santa Barbara property. This is also the work of Mr. Braun, further confounding the validity of the transfer of my fully furnished property in 1992 to Mr. Bruce Berman.
So there's a lot going on here, and Randy and Evie decide to flee to Canada because they believe it's the only way they can avoid the celebrity hunters called the Hollywood Star Whackers. But it's pretty convenient that they're leaving on asylum right now because they actually had some criminal charges against them here in the States. Is it, Randy's team setting them up, or are these people committing crimes and trying to escape them?
Heard about it through the internet. We missed his court appearance, so we didn't know anything about.
Quaid and his wife have a lot of explaining to do. The couple were arrested Friday trying to cross from Quebec into Vermont. They fled to Canada in 2010 after allegedly being discovered squatting in the guest house of the Santa Barbara home they used to own.
So they get to Canada and immediately they try to become citizens. So they have a meeting with the Canadian Immigration and Refugee Board. But at the same time, they're missing court back in the States. And Randy didn't have to be in person at court, but his wife needed to be, and she failed to show up.
Randy Quaid joins us now exclusively from Vancouver, Canada for his first live interview since this all began. Where to begin? Let's start with the court date this week. Why did you miss it if you and Evie believe strongly that you've done nothing wrong? Okay, so you say
we looked at this
you didn't know
website.
about it. You didn't know about the court date because the last
We didn't
one
know
you knew about
it.
was
No,
the
we looked
18th.
at,
Okay, but that's
we
not.
monitored this website.
But that's not what your lawyer
And
said,
we-
right? The lawyer told the judge yesterday that the reason Evie didn't go because she did have to appear, according to the authorities in Santa Barbara. And your lawyer said that the reason she didn't go is because she didn't want to leave you alone in Vancouver.
Right. Well, she's very close. We're a very close couple, and she has an opportunity to appear within the next few days, and we're assessing our options as far as her appearance.
A close relationship is no excuse for her to miss a court date. It sounds like a BS excuse. And to be honest, I'm actually surprised that Evie was approved for citizenship, but Randy wasn't. So he wasn't allowed to stay in Canada as a citizen. Even though Randy was rejected, he was able to stay in Canada somehow, probably illegally. But in 2015, he and his wife tried to come back to the States, and they find themselves in trouble because their past was waiting here for them.
Still wearing his jail jumpsuit after finally being released.
Anybody
Where are
know
you
there's
going?
a prison movie shooting or anything?
The 65-year-old actor and his wife, Evie, were arrested a week ago after trying to cross into the U.S. from Canada, where they've been hiding out for nearly 5 years.
So were they hiding out because of the Star Whackers or because of the impending charges? They had 2 arrest warrants valued at $50,000 against them. And it's all because they were illegally squatting at a guest house back in Montecito in a home they supposedly used to own. So they owned this home, they lost it, and they were squatting in the guest home of this property.
Their problems stem from charges that the Quaids trashed the house they once owned in California, which they denied.
I don't know why anyone would make this up unless their team was trying to set them up like they claim. They said they never vandalized this home, and their lawyer is standing up for them.
Attorney says the couple is innocent.
He was never in the house. He was in the pool house.
But it's not just the vandalized pool house, because they also had a hotel bill that they racked up and never paid. So they were wanted for that as well. This happened back in 2009. Supposedly they were staying at a posh hotel in Santa Barbara. So they were there probably until they fled the country, and they decided not to pay this out, which not a good look.
Are refugees. I mean, that's essentially what it is. Hollywood refugees seeking to be left alone by the criminals in America.
Quaid is being held on $500,000 bail in a Vermont jail. His new role, convincing a judge of 5-year disappearance, was one big misunderstanding.
One big misunderstanding. Sounds pretty convenient. So the couple were held in prison for 6 days until a Vermont judge found flaws in their court paperwork from California and said they were free to go. Which, wait, what? Flaws in the paperwork, so they were just like, free to go. That just, wow. Talk about celebrity privilege. And I mean, I just talked about Lady Gaga's situation with the dog walker and how the person who like shot up her dog walker just conveniently got out of jail because of a clerical error. How do these things happen? How do our systems fail us so often? But in 2022, we got an update on this couple, and it sounds like they're living the life. I mean, they purchased a home in Burlington, Vermont. It looks like they're staying in Vermont. And humble. I love it. I love it. It's cute. Like, they don't need all that, especially with everything they've been through and the bills they racked up. It's also crazy to think that Randy made $40 million, like, in his career. So I wonder where that all went. Did it go into the pockets of these people who were trying to sabotage him? Nonetheless, I'm sure they're a lot happier now and probably feel safe back in Vermont. They purchased this home, and it seems like they're trying to make this home a case study. They're going to try to build a real estate development on this property called 25 Randy Quaid Lane. Evie claims that the house and the neighborhood are going to be green. Everything's going to be from a local grid, and it looks like they're trying to build a suburban neighborhood in Burlington, which is just a very different, like, career route, but I guess it's, I don't know what to make of this. Comment below. It just seems really bizarre. Like, are they trying to create a cult or something? When I said this story was bizarre, I meant it. But I do feel like there's some truth to this. Like, maybe Randy and his wife are on one. But also at the same time, there's definitely some type of Hollywood star whackers out there in some capacity. I mean, I believe these people are the ones who put Britney Spears in conservatorship, probably ruined Lindsay Lohan's life until she like went away for a couple years and now she's like brand new. It almost looks like she was like rebooted or something. So part of me does feel like these people in Hollywood like work together to trap these people and eventually probably make money off of them. Like, think about Michael Jackson. Like, at one point he was more worthy dead than he was alive. They could make more money off of him if he were to be gone, and they could collect residuals. So Randy probably has a point here.
Because you're afraid of these people who are out to kill celebrities, and you specifically. Why do you have that fear?
I have a fear because for the last 3 years and really the last 20 years, I've been racketeered on. My finances have been decimated by a group of people, such as my ex-attorney, my ex-business manager, and an estate planner, specifically, and they have conspired together to co-opt my corporations, put in trustees without my knowledge.
But are they now trying to kill you?
Well, yes. I mean, they not in a sense where, you know, they're going to come over and shoot me with a gun or anything like that. But the way they've manipulated the system, the court system, to have us falsely arrested and to make it impossible for us to operate on a daily basis in the most basic way. I mean, banking,
right,
owning a house, renting a house,
right,
renting a car. I mean, we cannot function.
The new puppy wanted to say hi. Say hi. Oh my gosh, she's so lovely. This is Rosie. say hi. But he definitely has a point here, right? Like he definitely does. And I feel like there's like I feel like this is like a case study right here, his story alone, that can be applied in a lot of different situations. But I want to hear what you guys think in the comments below. Here's my email if you have any other video ideas for me. And let's go ahead and open a P.O. Box package item. I'm like out of breath right now, but this is from the rolling pen. Cool, and they drew a little microphone on there. That's so cute. Also, I would like to acknowledge that my eyebrows are very dark right now because I just got them microbladed again, like touched up. So that's why I'm looking like Ursula, like crazy in this video. Merry Christmas, and please follow me at the Hey Who Are You Hoo Hoo. Oh, cool. So it looks like these are some cookies from the rolling pin, which I will list everything below. And here are the cookies. I think they opened a little bit in the box, but ooh, it smells so good. Let me pull one out. Okay, so we've got like this one right here. Oh, I love that. And then we've got this one right here. And this one right here. This is definitely not great for my diet, but I'm so excited. Thank you so much. I don't know who exactly sent this, but thank you to the rolling pin. And definitely go and check them out. I will list everything below. And thank you guys so much for sending these and sharing your small businesses. I'm so excited. And go get yourself some cookies. I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.